I first met Dave Courtney just after Stop the Ride, I Want to Get Off was released. So he did a book tour. He come to Chatham in Kent. There's a few of us there, but it was like meeting him then. It was brilliant, and I read the book as well. His book was brilliant. Like his life was amazing, really. Like, and you know, he ended it how he wanted to. Like, because before that video come out, I don't know about anyone else, but I thought maybe someone's popped him or something. But obviously, the video had come out that he had bone cancer and stuff like that. But you never heard him whining about it or whinging about it, did you? So I met Dave when he done that book, but Dave appeared on the bare knuckle scene. I think it was BKB 3 or something in Oxford. Dave appeared there, and it was amazing to have him there because a lot of people thought he was done and dusted, but obviously when he got that celebrity gangster status, he had to, had to quieten it down a bit. And he appeared on the bare knuckle, and do you know what? It was getting stopped everywhere, and he said to me, he basically said to me that night, he said, "Where do you live?" I said, "Gillingham," which is in Kent, and he said, "Oh, I live in Gillingham as well," which he didn't, obviously, because I knew he had Camelot Castle, but he was seeing a woman in Gillingham, a black lady. I can't remember what her name was, but she was a bit of a nutter, he told me, after they split up. So I went round this house to meet him, and he wanted to do a documentary. So he wanted me and the fellow I was doing the old site with at that time to do a documentary about him. But obviously didn't have the time and that. But then a couple of months later, he told me that day, no, he went, "I'm telling you, son," he said, "I'm going to have a bare knuckle boxing show in my back garden." And I thought, it's impossible. Like, the police hate him. Like, I thought, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Turned up it is, and there's an interview with him. And in the interview, I'll say to him, like, what's that? Were you worried about the police cancelling it tonight? But obviously, he knew further ahead than all of us. Like, it was just a party. See, even the alcohol. You didn't pay for the alcohol. You went to Brendan, bought a ticket, like a lottery ticket or something, and then you had to go to another place to get your drink. So they had it right sussed out. But that was the Gangster's Back Garden. That's the one that Vice did. So Vice there, that was when the bare knuckle really took off. So I'd done the interview with him, and then he says to me, "Do you know how to play pool?" I was like, "Yeah." And he went, "Do you want to come and play pool?" So I've gone in, started playing pool with him, and it's come back to me. A fella called Ian the Machine Freeman. So Dave Courtney used to just play pool with one hand, because when he was back in prison years ago, people using the cues as weapons, so they only had like half a cue. So this fella could play with one hand at pool, as good as most people can play like normally. And I think I sunk about 5 balls, and then it hit me. There was him, and there's these two massive fellas. I don't know who they were, but they were massive. Right, just watching the game, and then I realised the geezer was filming, and I thought, "Oh no, I can't do this." So anyway, he beat me in the end. I think he beats everyone on that table. I don't know how many people got out and beating him on that table. I actually got out of there. That garden might want to be dug up when that house is sold. But, I mean, like, I see stuff that people write about him. I mean, I don't want to bitch about Paddy Conroy here, but he's saying stuff about him, yeah? Like, come on, the geezer's dead, yeah? Let him at least have his funeral and that and get away with it. That out of the way. But for me personally, Dave Courtney was brilliant. He never, from when I met him, he never come across as someone who would kill someone or would do anything like that. But Dave knew how to separate the worlds, didn't he? For me, from that day, we done that Decker Heggie interview in the garden. You know, Decker saying he was the governor and that stuff, yeah? So that was in Dave's back garden. Dave just enjoyed the fighting as well, you know. Like, if there's an interview and he said, when he sees blokes fighting, he gets a boner and he wants to knock one out. And that's in one of the interviews if you go on Cage Amateurs UK. But I don't know, I've seen a lot of stuff, but this fella was brilliant, especially for the bare knuckle world. BKB, TM and that. This fella, and he helped a lot of boxing promotions out. He did a lot years ago that no one really knows about, you know. Like, for all sorts of people. But, you know, he wasn't one to really brag about it. He preferred to talk in his books about, you know, the stuff that you can talk about. And not that personal stuff. He had that customer relationship where, you know, it's customer confidentiality. So I don't know when the fella's funeral is, but for my old channel and this one, you know, we couldn't really go without saying something about Dave. He was brilliant, really good. So hopefully we'll hear soon when his funeral is, and I hope his family and Brendan, what a brilliant fella he is. I hope he's alright and they're all good. Thank you for listening.